G'day, I'm Andrew Cox, and it's T-minus 20 hours until I launch my new show, When Holidays Attack. When Holidays Attack is all about the crazy things, the things that can go horribly wrong when you're travelling around the world. So I thought, what better place to launch my new show than in space? Now, if you're going to launch a show in space, you're going to need a really good space probe. And that's why I'm going to be relying on this old school stylophone Australian Esky. And inside I've positioned two different cameras. Camera one will be basically filming an image of me taken from my fringe poster and hopefully floating above the Earth. Whereas camera two will be shooting a clean image of the Earth. And to keep track of everything as it happens, I'm going to be relying on this Spot GPS tracker. This is going to be transmitting its position every 10 minutes, so it should be very easy to find the space probe when it finally lands back on Earth. And that's going to fit in right about there. And then to broadcast my show in space, I'm going to be using this very powerful, very loud MP3 player. This is going to go right about here, and all of this is going to be attached to this trusty parachute, which is going to be attached to a 1,200 gram weather balloon. And that's going to propel this parachute and this space probe and my show 33 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. Now, all good space probes deserve a really good name. So in the traditions of Vostok 1 and Apollo 1, I wanted to name my space probe something very Australian, and I decided to call it Crikey 1. So stick around and see what happens.
Tonight. My name is Andrew, and as you probably can tell, I'm from Australia. And Australians aren't famous for their wanderlust, so it's probably no great surprise to you that I'm up here about to talk about my travels tonight. And unfortunately, I've been in the wrong place at the wrong time, a few too many times, and I'm going to share a few examples with you all tonight. And for a time, I mentally wrestled to break free of this force, and like a stuck lid opening for the very first time, it began to pull free. But with the city lights behind us and the streets started getting narrower and darker, I realised he'd lied to me, and I was getting in some pretty serious trouble. So I'm walking behind and I'm getting closer to this dimly lit building, and it felt like I was walking up to a guillotine. I had that sinking feeling in my stomach, and as soon as he got out of sight, and at first I was confused. I wondered if I was dreaming, but then I realised I was awake, and I became terrified, afraid of my... But the sun was setting over the mountains, and as you probably noticed, that's usually when things start going wrong for me. Mate, no one has any idea where we are, neither do we. I think we're about to get pulled out of this car and either flung down the mountainside or thrown into that Segtao cellar and fitted with a gimp mask like Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction. Some 3,600 meters above sea level, I wasn't all that surprised. Thank you very much for listening. Good night.